So Michael, one of the things I found really interesting in your talk was the notion in a couple of ways of fit, that you were saying you can have a great machine, that is an Internet of Things wizard, but if it doesn't work for me, I am not interested, right?
Exactly. It's helpful for the machine manufacturer to understand how that machine is going to fit into my production system. I look at it as my value stream.
Right.
And I will actually sit down on a whiteboard and I'll show them a value stream map of how my production system works. And then when they start to talk about their solution, it needs to be woven into the context of how my operation actually runs.
Right.
And for the folks, some folks really want to engage that. Other folks look at me like I'm crazy because they haven't spent the time to really understand how I do what I do.
Right.
And
so that really fits with the discussion we were having yesterday. One of the folks was saying that sales is not all about, or just about sales. It's actually about listening and understanding what the customer really needs, right? So do you see a lot that there are salespeople coming in that they're just focused on what they've got to sell and not what you want to buy?
It's unfortunately far too common when you find an individual who is just under the need to make a certain number of sales calls, and they just literally stop by and unfortunately just drop off a brochure.
Right.
The patient, persistent, polite person who really wants to understand how the small manufacturer is operating and how their solution may fit into it, that over time allows them to be more educated in the solutions that they may bring to a company like ours. And some of the most successful salespeople that we've worked with actually brought us solutions. In some cases, they weren't even companies that they represented, but they knew the solution worked for us based on their prior experience. So we still found ways to turn around and work with them through a purchase on a machine that they didn't even represent, because they understood enough about how we did what we did, and they said, wow, here's the solution. I don't rep it, but this is the right solution.
Now, is there anything unique about your company that makes it more difficult to find the right fit for machinery, to find the right fit for the sort of smart automation pieces?
The value stream that we have runs at a very fast pace. So we're looking to move a certain number of pieces in a certain amount of time, and it's this pace production environment where most manufacturers are attempting to generate a solution that will work for 80% of the companies out there. There's times where, based on how we've incrementalized the work itself, where this larger, more 80% type of solution doesn't work for a company our size.
Right.
Sometimes it has too many features, and really that machine needs to be dumbed down and simplified to be able to really be effective in my production system.
And is that becoming more common, that the rate of speed is the acceleration is happening in a lot of plants? Or?
I believe it is. Labor's tough to find, and if you can find a production system or a machine that will allow you to achieve greater throughput with the same amount of labor, it merits investigating, because the ROI right off the surface sounds like it's something worth exploring.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.